Where do I place my makeup? I know, that's the biggest question I get. It's not what you think, right? We grew up with putting foundation all over our face, then putting on blush, putting on bronzer on top of that, then maybe eyeshadow, mascara, all the things, right? Well, cream makeup is different. You're only supposed to put one color in one place. You're not supposed to layer it. That's the genius about it. So today, I'm gonna show you where to place the makeup, and this is gonna be like the video you go back to when you get your color match results back from me. You'll come to this video and you can push play, look at your picture with your makeup, and do your makeup with me. So are you ready? Let's do this. The first thing you need to do is send in your color match form. If you haven't already done that, I will link that below. What that'll do is you'll send me a selfie of yourself. You should be in a window like I am, just like this, and you should have your hair back. You should have no makeup, no glasses, be able to show me your chest, your neck, and just look straight ahead, and no lights on in the room, just like I have no lights on in this room right here, right? And then take your selfie, hold your phone, like this, distance apart, and then make sure that you clean your phone so that it's not foggy, not dusty, there's no fingerprints on there, and make sure once you take your selfie that it can zoom in and out, because I'm gonna need to zoom in and out and look at your skin in the picture. Once you've taken the selfie, upload it, put your information in, it'll come to me, and then 24, 48 hours, I'll get you back your results. And your results will come back with your picture. And your picture will have, like this, except it'll be your picture, not mine, and it'll be, I will have drawn on your face where to place what color. It's like a roadmap. It's paint by numbers. It's really, really easy. So today, I'm gonna walk you through where to place the colors. We're gonna fill a palette together. I love the 12 palette. We're gonna fill the palette with colors, and then I'm gonna show you how to place the makeup. And this should be a great video for you to come back to as you open up your new box of makeup, you're putting your palette together, and you're like, now what? So this will be a great tutorial for you. You can follow along with me. We'll do our makeup together, and hopefully that'll help you with your application for as long as you need the help. You'll be able to come back to this video, check it out, and do your makeup with me. So the first thing that will happen is you'll order your makeup, you'll get the results from me, you'll order your makeup, it comes in a box, excuse me. I usually recommend 9 times out of 10. This is the 12 palette, excuse me. This is the silver. I like this one. It's just a great everyday palette. It's got a little tab right here so you can open it up. It's got the mirror, and then it's got 2 layers. It holds 6 colors, 6 main highlight colors like this. It fits 6 of these bigger tins, and you could do 12 of the eyeshadows, but you don't have to do this. The point of this palette is it's a great size for a starter, but there's also room for you to add a few extra things if you need them. So we're gonna use this as an example, and then your tins come in a little pouch like this. It opens up like this, and these are all the colors. The key is that you have, let me put these down, it's a little loud. It'll open up like this. You just pull it out. And if you're having a problem pulling the tin out, this is a brow wax, so it looks like there's nothing in it that's clear. If you're having a problem pulling this out, just put a piece of tape on the bottom and then pull it out, and it should pull out. And then be sure to keep your covers. Don't throw the tin covers out, because you may want to, depending on the season, you may want to pop a color out and store it to the next season, or you could use your little tin lid to lift the tins out of your palette to change them out. So I always say keep the tin tops just in case, because that way you can store them if it's between seasons or something like that. For instance, you may have a lipstick that you like for the winter, but you don't want it for the summer. Or maybe you have a lighter highlight, foundation color for the winter, but you need a darker color for winter. So you can pop out the colors, and then you have the little lid. And the lid, they do have the names written on the tin cover, and then they're also on the back of the makeup. They're tiny. Let's just be honest, they're tiny. So I don't know here if you can even see this, but it says brow wax on there. I don't even know if you can read it. It's like right down there. And then on this side, it's just as small as well. It's tiny. So I need to wear my glasses to see the colors. And then I always recommend, like I said, the size 12. And then these are my two favorite brushes. This is the detail brush, and this is the blush bronzer brush. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna fill it with, you know, new colors. I'm gonna put my colors in this palette. So let's start with your brightest, lightest shade, right? So I like to put them in the palette in the order that I'm gonna wear it. So, and they're magnetic, so they're gonna stay in. You can move them around to whatever position you want. And as you can see, it just snaps in like that. So I like to put my first color in there, excuse me, and then I go in order of how I like to wear the makeup. Okay, so that's my first color. Then I'm gonna add in my second color. This is normally my color corrector. I'll put that in next. And then the third color is my main shade, which is, and I, for some reason, like to put it into the palette like that. So it's 1, 2, 3. Those are sort of the main colors for your face. And then I'll go in next with my contour. You can do whatever you like. If you would prefer to put your face colors, for instance, 1, 2, 3, like this, and then your color like that, you could do that. So then you have your 4 sort of main face colors, and these are the shades that I'll match you to. I will tell you these 4 colors. The extra colors that you'll need is a lip and cheek. Now we have 3 different kinds of styles of lip and cheeks. We have a satin, which is like this. This is nude. This is a really great everyday color, but as you can see, it's more matte, right? So this is called a satin. We call this a satin, and this is more of a matte color. So I like this for the cheeks. Even though it's a lip and cheek, you can also use it for your lips. But if you want a gloss, then you should also get a gloss. And I highly recommend something like this. This is Sadie. As you can see, it's more shiny. And this would be what I would also recommend, is getting 1 satin and 1 gloss. If you are a lipstick person and you have a bunch of lipsticks at your disposal, or you've already been using them, then you don't worry about your lips because you already have something that you love, right? But I think it's important to at least get something in the blush category so that you can keep your face and everything that you're using like that in one palette, right? I like to use a gloss, but if you weren't gonna get a gloss, then the next thing you could get is a Illuminator. An Illuminator, you can see it's well loved. It's very well loved. This just has a little bit of sheen and color in it, and it gives a beautiful glow to your skin. So that is the 6th color that I'm gonna put in here. And that is just a really good way to start. So this is one way to put your palette together. This is actually left to right. It doesn't look like that on the screen, but for me, this is left to right, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 4 colors that I will tell you what you should get in this. And then these are fun. These are what you get a la carte, and you can pick from an array of lip and cheeks, illuminators. You could get a bronzer, you could get eyeshadows, but we're not gonna go into that today. We're just gonna do the basic application of the main things that you would use to get started. So in that sense, we're gonna take this palette. I'm just gonna put my hair back because that will make it easier to see my face, and you'll be able to see placement. For me, I like to teach anybody new to cream foundation to use their fingers, because you will add less makeup to your face and you won't have a thick application. If you would like to go in with a brush and something like small like this, you're more than welcome to do that. You just have to be careful that you're not swiping into the makeup or picking up way too much product. You're not gonna like the application. It's gonna be heavy, and especially if you have mature skin, if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, etc., it's gonna be heavy, cakey, and it's not gonna sit well on your skin. It's also gonna sink into your fine lines, and you're not gonna like that. Instead, you want a very fine, thin application. And that's why I say, Go in with clean hands, make sure you've washed your face, you've done your skincare, you've let that sink into your face. If you wear SPF, again, let it sink into your skin, wait like 15 minutes, and then get to your palette and then start this video. So that is my recommendation for how to start. So I'm I've got clean fingers, my face is washed, I'm not wearing SPF today, I'm just wearing moisturizer, and it's been probably a good, hour and a half since I washed my face, and everything is now settled into my skin. Okay, so the first color is your lightest color. Now, if you look at this picture right here, the one color that is in white that I've drawn on your face, it looks like 3 lines here, down your nose. You can see it right here. There's one piece here, 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 and then sort of goes all the way down your face like that, right? So that color is the first color, and that's your lightest color. So the one color that you have on your picture that's white, drawn on your face, is going to be the first color, which we consider and we call a brightener. It's the lightest color in your purchase. Okay, so here's mine, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to show you exactly what I want you to do. So you're going to pick up a light amount on your finger, and you're going to just go 1, 2, 3, like that. And that might even be a little bit too much, but it's okay. It'll blend in and be perfect. And then you can take whatever's left on your finger like that. If you don't have enough, just tap back in, go down your nose like that, down your middle of your lip right there. And I didn't really pick up a lot there, so do like that. And the point is that you want to we're going to brighten our face. And then depending on your eyes, if you have dark circles or if you have any kind of coloration around your eyes, we'll talk about that in another video. But initially what I want you to do is see how I have this lighter here. Let me pick up a brush and I can show you what I mean here. Whoopsie. Excuse me. Okay, so right in here, can you see like this skin right here? It's lighter, and then I have a little bit more dark here. So I want to put the lighter color on this here. I don't want to cover this circle. I don't want to put any makeup in this circle. I am going to just take my finger, and as you can see, I'm doing it sort of on the side right here. Can you see where it is? That's the placement right there. And then I'm going to do a little line like that. And this line is going to be like a little facelift. It's going to give a little brightness to your eye, and that's why that's there. But you're not going to put anything under your eye here. And then you're going to do a little here and a little here. And you don't worry. Don't worry about if it's not like a perfect line or anything like that. It's just meant to be quick and down your face like that. So those are where you want to put the lightest color, which is in white, on your sheet. All right. Okay. So that's the first color. Now the next color that I like to apply is the one that's blue on your face. And it's usually like little dots I'll put, and that's going to be your color corrector. That is normally the color that is going to help minimize any rosacea, redness, dark spots. If you have any scars, sometimes it's for dark circles. It just depends on what you have, and usually it's either red or dark. And so this is my second color right here. I'm going to tap in, and on me, I need to color correct this redness right in here around my cheeks, around my nose, upper lip, like right in here, and I have some redness on my chin. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I want to cover up. So I'm going to take, and definitely right here, you can see redness right in here. So I'm going to take, which I already think I picked up, but I'm going to take some of the color corrector, and I'm just going to dab it in the places that I want to color correct. I have some scars and some spots. I don't know what they are. I don't know where they came from, but I'm just going to lightly dust over them with the color. Now, the color that I recommend for your color corrector could be any number of colors. It just depends on your skin tone and all that. Mine, if you notice, looks orange. I don't know if you can see, but it does look a little orange. The point of the orange is it's going to counteract the redness. So when you first put on your makeup, you're like, oh my gosh, Ridgely, what did you match me too. But I promise, once you blend it all together, it will disappear and you'll have a flawless complexion. I promise you. And if you do have any problems, please reach out to me, email me, text me, or whatever. Leave me a comment, all the things, and I'll get back to you and we can adjust it if you're feeling like it's off. But I haven't had any problems yet. Okay, so I have a little redness here and I just want to make sure. I have a little scar here and I'm just lightly dusting it all over. And you can see, I'm just trying to put it in the few places. Now, I'm not gonna go, I have, if you can see, I have some dark spots right here and right here. Those are like sunspots or melasma. I think they're sunspots right here, but I'm not gonna cover those up because I'm gonna put my contour here and my blush here, and that should take care of the problem. And the point of the makeup is not layering it, like I said earlier. So you're just gonna put this in one place. And I'll show you, like I said, on your picture, the little blue dots is where you wanna put it. And you just have to look in the mirror and sort of see where those spots are. And the one thing I'm gonna do, which I don't put on your results picture, is I like to take a little bit of the lightest color and a little bit of my color corrector. And if you can see my eyes right here, I have some redness, I have some veins, and it looks a little bit discolored when you look at my eyes. So what I like to do is take, like I said, a little bit of each of these two colors, the first and second color, and I'll just put it on my eyelid like that. And I'll do it on the other one as well. And I'm just gonna let that warm to my skin so that when I get to blending it, it will blend very easily and not be an issue. Okay, so let me, you know what I need to do is let me just put this lip gloss in the bottom. I'm gonna put the lip gloss in here so that I don't put my elbow into it because it's just sitting on the counter. Okay, so that's that. And I like to blend, you'll see in a minute, the third color right here. Now that's like your foundation color. That's your main shade. Now you have an option here. If you don't want to wear a ton of makeup like in here or up here, then don't worry about using it. But if you really like to have a full face and you like to even out your skin, and if you have, let's say, a darker neck than and a lighter face or vice versa, then I will tell you what to do around your jawline so that you can match your face to your neck and chest. So that's one of the reasons why it's really important to get your picture to me so I can see a little bit of, you know, your chest. Right? So what I would normally say to you is, you know, dab into your third color, your main color, your main foundation, and then you can just dab it on your jawline like this. And you can see my color is almost identical to my skin. And it just depends if you want to do your jawline or not. A lot of women do, and so I say go for it. And again, it's very light, it's not going to be heavy, and you would do that like that. And then the last place you're going to put this is a little bit up here because it's just going to go between your brightener, and then your contour is going to go up on your forehead. Now, if you have a very low forehead, you may not even need to put your makeup in here. If you have bangs, you may not need to put makeup up here. You would like a little bit of brightener because if your bangs go, you know, side to side, you want to do a little bit of light there. But you may not need to do your main foundation up there. The other thing is if you don't have any color corrector here, you may want to go into your foundation and dot it around the middle of your face like this. It just depends on what your result picture shows you. Okay, and if I say blend it together, it means you may want to just only put the color corrector in one little area and then put your main shade around it. So it'll blend together. So hopefully that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, leave me a comment depending on your face results and what it looks like for you. Next color we're going to go into is the fourth color. This is your contour. This is the red color on your results image right here. You can see there's red right here. It's across your forehead. It's down your nose, right here, along your jawline, right? So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use my finger to apply it, but I highly recommend going in with the detail brush and applying it with the detail brush. But I want to show you. So contour placement is really, really important. So we want to find our cheekbones, right? So this is my cheekbone. The easiest way to find your cheekbone is to take maybe if you have an extra brush, it usually, now this is usually, is from the top of your little ear right here down to your mouth, right? And that's usually, on me, you can see how I have like a little line. That is the base of my cheekbone, right? So that's where you want to put your contour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna use my finger for this. And what I would do is I would just do a line like this, just here at the base of my, see that? So that's where the contour would go. And I don't want the contour to go past my eye. So if you're looking at it from here, let me do this. It would be like this. So your contour is going right there. See how that contour goes right there? So that is an easy way to figure out where to place your contour on the base of your cheekbone. So right here, stop at the base of your cheekbone and don't go past your eye, right? So we'll do that on the other side as well. And like I said, you want to go from your ear to your mouth right here. And I can feel it, so just feel it. And then you want to stop where you get to your eye. So that's really important. I don't know if I put enough on. I have to look in the mirror. It's hard to do both. Okay, so that would be your contour right there. Then for your nose, you can, I like doing this. I just dabbed into my contour. And if you're gonna use your fingers, this is an easy way to do it. Just rub the contour together, and then you're just gonna go down your nose in a straight line like this. So that's an easy way to do your contour. Now this isn't a very dark contour, but you get the idea. It's just right down your nose like that. And then the last thing you want to do, depending on the size of your forehead, whether you have bangs, you don't have bangs, things like that. I have, I showed you, I have a big forehead. So I like to do my whole forehead. I don't really go past here. So I'll do a line like this, right? And here, and here. Okay, and hopefully you can see that. And you can go more if you want. So I can add more, make it darker, all right? And I'm just, you'll notice that the contour, the consistency of the contour is a harder product. It's harder, I guess isn't maybe not the right word. These are creamier and softer, and this is just a harder consistency. You may want, if you're in a cold climate, depending on the time of year when you're watching this video, you could blast it with the hairdryer and it'll get creamier, softer to apply. But the point is you want it as a shadow. So there's a reason why it's a little bit harder. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to do your jawline. And the key to the jawline is when you're applying your contour is, depending on, what kind of a jawline you have. Like I have a pretty deep, or whatever, chiseled jawline or whatever you want to call it. So you want to make sure that you don't go in this area right here, where you have sort of the jowls, right? Because it comes to here and then we have the wrinkles and it's going in. So you wanna make sure that you put the contour up to here, but you're not putting the color here. So I always say just go along your jawline like this and stop. So there's usually a red line to here, and there's a red line here, and then there's a red line here. There's a reason for it. Be careful if you're going to use your finger for this, because you could get just a line and you just want to make sure you're blending it. That's why I love using the detail brush. Let me go in with the detail brush and I'll show you. This is mine. This is my well-used one. So if you're going to use the detail brush, you can go in like this using the side, right? So you get the contour on the side right there. So it's going to create a nice line. And what you can do is just go like this along and then blend it down, right? Because you want to blend the contour so there's a shadow on your jawline. And then I like to put some right under here, and that hopefully will eliminate, right? So I'm blending before we've got to the whole face, but that's sort of the idea, right? You don't want to have just a line. You want it to be blended and really soft and natural looking. And if you don't have a jawline, just that little bit of shadow will give your face shape. It's really cool, right? So just make sure you blend it down into your neck and then it's not like a solid line like that. The other thing you can do is you can take a little bit of it under your lip and it'll make your lip look filler. So you could put a little bit like that. Okay, so those are the first 4 colors. And then for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna also show you about the lip and cheek because I wanna show you the difference of contours here and then you're gonna take your lip and cheek. Now, this is the color Nude. This is also a very creamy one. We have other lip and cheeks that are satins that are a little bit firmer and harder as well. For some reason, this color Nude, because it's so creamy and soft, I always suggest going with your fingers. But here you can see how soft it is. And so this is where you would put your blush, right? Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you, because I get a lot of comments about this too, women really like to do bronzer. And where do you place bronzer versus, and look, I'm gonna take the rest of my lip and cheek and just put whatever's left on my finger on my lips. So the thing I didn't show you is the bronzer. So here is Bella Bronzer. This is the bronzer I recommend to everybody. And the point of the bronzer is to warm up your face, right? So the contour is for shadows, for definition. That's why it's called 3-dimensional, 3D makeup. It's to give your face 3-dimensionality. We're not a flat piece of paper. We have curves and we have, you know, shadows and planes and all the things. So that's why this makeup is so cool. And that's why people just love it, because it's about making you look like a real person and not a flat piece of paper. Because when you use like a foundation that's one color and just cover your whole face, you lose the depth and the character of your face, right? It just comes, well, flat. So anyway, the difference between contour, which is giving you dimension and shadow, is bronzer is supposed to give you that sun-kissed glow. So the places that you would want to put your bronzer, now if we're gonna use our finger again, we would want to put it on your cheekbones, like right in here. You would wanna put it up here where the sun would hit. So now I'm kind of going in between what I have here and it'll blend in. So this is a warm color and it's gonna warm up my skin. We'll have shadow and we'll have warmth, and then let me put some over here. And this is just to give you an idea. I'm trying not to layer it, but it's gonna warm up my skin right in here, and this is gonna give a shadow. And then later we can go in and just do a little extra, little pop. So that can also go into your palette. So that is everything in your palette except for the Illuminator and the gloss. And we'll come back to the bronzer as well. So what do you do now? You blend. So I love using the blush bronzer brush. It has this fluffy end up here. This is great for bronzer or powder. I love this for bronzer. So if you didn't do what I just did, which is add it now, you could go in later and just do a light dusting of bronzer. And then this is a great big dense brush that is great for blending. So what I like to do is I like to start along my jawline and go up. And I start with the lighter colors and then I go to the contour last, and then lip and cheek. So, or I should say cheek, because anyway, so I will go in here, I'll blend this, and the way you blend it is you just want to push it into your skin like this, and it will become a seamless, even complexion. And then just make sure if you did do anything in your lips that you're missing it. And then just blend it like this. And as you can see, it's barely coming off on my brush, and there you go. So I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go up into my, and make sure you're not moving it. You're not swiping it off, right? And I'm just lightly pushing it into my skin. And then when I get up to my eyes, I'm just gonna blend it like this. And what's gonna happen is that the makeup that was on my eyelids, hold on, I'll show you. And then you wanna brush this one up, because this is gonna give you a nice lift over here. And let me show you. I'm just gonna make sure it's blended. You can see how it's minimized all the coloration on my lids. See the difference? It's pretty cool, right? And then just keep going. Kind of blending it in like this along my eyes. And because it's been sitting on my skin for a while, it's very easy to blend because it's warmed up to my skin and becomes, like I said, a seamless application. So then just make sure you blend in and go down your nose, just looking in the mirror so I don't miss anything. It will take a less time if you do this, if you're not chatting like I am. I promise you, this is gonna be a longer video only because I'm going step by step and I'm trying to explain as I go. So that is everything along the middle of my face, right? And maybe have a little bit in here. And then I'm gonna do my forehead and the bronzer, and I just like to push it. Now, the key to blending your contour is make sure that it's going into your hairline and you don't leave any. I'm just kind of pushing and sort of blending. I'm going so that it's blending into your forehead, and you'll get the hang of it pretty easy, and you can sort of see how it looks. And then I always have a problem when I'm on camera is that sometimes I miss a spot, so I just want to make sure that I'm looking at my face. So you can kind of see how it gave a nice glow, and it just took away that kind of discoloration that I had all over my forehead, and it's so cool. Okay, so then what you want to do with the one on your, what is this called? Your cheek, your cheekbone, you just want to blend it up. You want to blend this up. And that's why one of the reasons I like the detail brush is because it's small. It can kind of get in here and you can blend it up like this. So this video, I'm not really showing you, and just make sure you don't have too much of a line. Because I used my finger to do the line, you just want to make sure I'm not, okay, it'll blend. And then do this side and blend it up into your cheek so that it gives a shadow like this. Oh, I stayed with the detail brush, so yeah, I really prefer it. And then down for your nose, don't forget your nose because we put a little bit on our nose. And in my other videos, you'll see, I'll link it below, to use the detail brush to apply your contour. I really think it will make a big difference because if you're new to contour, this is the brush to use. And then don't forget, we did that earlier. If you haven't already, blend in this. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip back to my blush bronzer brush and I'm gonna blend in the blush and the leftover bronzer that I had on my cheeks. And again, if you need more, then add more. I just wanted to show you placement so that it made sense, the results that I email you for your face. Okay, so now you can see it's all blended. I have a really pretty shadow right here at the base of my cheekbone. I have a little blush here. This lip and cheek is so pretty. My face is even, and I have a beautiful complexion. So hopefully that made sense when you refer back to your results and the face map that I send you, because I don't want any confusion with, the red line is not for your lip and cheek, it's for contour, and I want to make sure you know where to put things. Now, we could go back in if you wanted a little bit more blush because I blended it so well. You could just add, a little bit more like this and get a little bit more blush, right? You could do that. Let's make it even. And I'm just giving you different options so that when you get to it, there's no right or wrong way to do this. If you prefer to do, let's say, your eyeshadows first, go in with your eyeshadow. I don't do my eyeshadows first because I like to do all of my face makeup, like what we would consider, our first 4 colors. I like to do them all first. And then that way, the colors that I put on my eyelids act as a primer for my eyeshadows. Some ladies like to go in, prime their eyes, do their eyeshadow, so if there's any fallout of powder or whatever around their eyes, then they do their makeup. I don't know. I don't always wear eyeshadow, so I do eyeshadow last. That's like an add-on for me. And it really depends on how you like to do your makeup, what kind of order you're already doing it in, and you don't need to change just because you're working with Cream Foundation. Do what works best for you and how you like to do your makeup. So that is that. Then the other thing that I didn't mention or I haven't put on yet is the Illuminator. I love an Illuminator. So I would just go in with my finger. I like to put it, and can you kind of see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's right there. Here, I'll do a little bit more so you can see. This one is Angel, and it's got a little bit of pink in it, and you can blend it with your finger like this, and it'll give you a beautiful glow. We have a bunch of cream illuminators. This is just a pinky one. We have a more golden one. We have a more skin color one. We have a more pearly white one. I really prefer the cream illuminators because I think it goes with the whole look, and the powder illuminators are really bright. So if you aren't into bright, you know, more glow, then stick with the cream illuminators because they're softer and they're very generous for mature skin. The other thing you can do is you could pop in with your brush and do it like that as well. And I'm going to show you, so you could do that like this. The other thing is you can put your illuminator right here. You can add a little bit down your nose, down your, like this. And if you want to do it with your finger, you could just go like this. You could also use it on your lips as a little gloss, right? A little sheen. That's always really pretty. And the other thing that you can do, which makes this makeup so fabulous, is you can use your contour and your lip and cheek and your illuminator as eyeshadows. And you could also use your contour as a lip liner. You can fill in your eyebrows with it. There's so many options. Now, if you don't have a bunch of brushes and you want to just use your fingers, that's fine. So you could just go into your contour like this. Let's just do it for fun, right? So go into your contour just with your finger. I like to do it just like I would a sort of like a basic neutral eye color. So I would go to the corner and just brush it on like this, sort of up into my brow bone like this, and add a little color. So you're getting multiple uses out of your basic colors, which I love. So here, let me just do this. And as you can see, it's very subtle. It's not a lot. You can see the difference between this one and this one, I think. Let me look in the mirror. Yeah. And then the coolest thing is you can go into your illuminator. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. And just because it's a cream, you can just put it from the sort of the corner of your eyelid to the middle like this. See that? And it just gives a little glow, and it's just like a very basic, beautiful, natural eyeshadow. Isn't that great? And then you can do a little bit up here on your brow bone as well to finish it off. And it's so easy. Now, if you wanted to brush, you could do it with a brush as well. Let me see if I have a brush here that I could use. Let's see. Do I have a brush? Do I have a brush? Oh yeah, here it is. So you could use something like the Smudge brush and go in like this, pick it up, and then hold on, let me look in the mirror. And you could have more control. You could have more control. I don't know why I can't speak. So this would give you a little bit more control of placement. And then, you know, I can put a little bit under here. And that is another great option, right? If you didn't want to use your finger and you had a little brush, or you could use this. This is the Smudge brush. And then you could flip it over, go into this. Some ladies really like to use their brushes, some like to use their fingers, so really do what works best for you. And then a little up here. Now I always like to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to show you something. So I like to go in with, this is the line brush. It's got a spoolie on one end. Here, I'll show you, hold on. It's got a spoolie on one end, and then it's got this slanted brush on the other. And you can use the slanted brush to go into, depending on the color of your hair and your eyebrows, you could use your contour depending if it's the right color or not for you. If you want to do this, let me know, and I'll make sure you get the right color contour. But then you can take your little brush and go in, tap in, and you could fill in your brows like this. And the other thing you can do, I don't have it in this palette right now, but let me show you. You could use a, this is a bigger palette. This is the 16, and this is the one I normally use because I have eyeshadows and such. But down here, I have something called the brow wax, which I showed you earlier, and it looked like it was clear. And if you activate it, hold on, let's activate it. Take a little setting spray, shake that up. And you've probably seen this in my videos if you've been watching or following me for a while. I like to activate it. The water just, the liquid I should say, just activates the brow wax. Get a little brow wax in your spoolie, and then, oh, I got a little color on there, and then just pull it through your eyebrows so that it gives grooms them and makes sure they stay in place. So I really think it's important to do your eyebrows, especially if you're a mature woman. You don't want your eyebrows all wacky, you know what I mean? You want them to shape your face. And so I think this is a really important step. Now you may have a gel eyebrow wand thing, and that's great too. I just like having everything fit together, especially when I'm traveling. And I find that some of those extra wands are kind of bulky and such. And then the last thing is add a little, oh, wrong, sorry. Let's go back to the original palette that we were talking about, the 12. And then I like to go in and just add a little gloss. So this is Sadie, and I can add a little gloss over my lips. And that is it for everything in here. Don't forget to add a little mascara. I like using an eyelash curler. So this is like the easiest, simple way to do your makeup. And I hope by walking you through each color and how to apply it in regards to your face map, which is right here again, that it makes it easier for you to use the makeup and get ready quicker and get familiar with how to use it on a daily basis. I think that most, ooh, I love finally getting it on. I like how the ease of the makeup, I like how fast and quick you can get done, and you don't have to wear a ton of makeup to feel and look fabulous. There are a ton of different lip and cheek colors to choose from, so you don't have to do something like the nude that I had. I just think it's a really good basic color for everyone, especially if you like plums and kind of a rosy color. And the other thing I wanted to mention, when you're online shopping for the colors that I recommend for you, don't freak out about the darkness of the colors, because on the website they definitely look darker. And as you can see, this looks really, really dark, but you saw how when I put it on and blended it, it wasn't as dark. Same thing with the bronzer, right? It looks super, super dark, but once you get it on, it just gives your face a gorgeous glow. Now the Bella bronzer does not have any sparkle in it, so you can mix that with your Illuminator if you want to have a little bit more sheen, but a lot of women just like that it's plain. And oh, I wanted to show you one last thing. So you could take your blush bronzer brush, you could take the fluffier end of your brush and then kind of swirl it in here a little bit like this, sorry, and grab some of the bronzer and just put it on where like the sun would kiss you, you know what I mean? So over your nose, over here, and if you didn't feel like you got enough on your temples, you could just kind of swirl it in here like this. I'm just kind of putting it on and swirling it, and just make sure if you do and you don't watch it, you could pick up a little bit too much. I think I have a little spot there. No, I just want to make sure I don't have a spot there. You know, you don't want to pick up way too much in one spot, so just make sure it's even and you give yourself a little sun-kissed moment like this, and bring it down your neck so that it becomes even and gorgeous. And that's all I got. I just wanted to make sure that you understood how to go from your face map to your makeup onto your face. Hopefully this made a lot of sense. It'll make doing your makeup easier. And if you have any questions about your own colors or application, be sure to reply back to me in email or via the text, and leave me a comment here if you had any thoughts or if there's any videos that you would like to see in the future. I would love to help you. It's all about trying to communicate and show you how to do it so it makes your life so much easier and faster. So thank you so much for being here. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. That way you will get notified when new videos go up, and it helps me grow the channel, which is awesome. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.